Red Bull really does give you wings, or at least it did for one Daredevil skydiver. Here is Felix Baumgartner over the weekend. In the process of breaking 4 world records, the Austrian flung himself out of a balloon thousands of feet in the air in the Red Bull-sponsored Stratos jump. The height Felix reached and the speed at which he plummeted towards the earth all made the jump incredibly dangerous, to say the least. Yet 8 million people tuned in to watch it streaming online. That is a ton of people to go to their computer and watch. Was that a risky move for Red Bull, or was it a PR masterpiece? Joining me now is Executive Creative Director of Turkel Brands, Bruce Turkel. Thank you so much for joining us. Here was my key question. So if Fearless Felix scrambled his brains like so many eggs when he landed there, what would it have meant for Red Bull?
It's funny. Ordinarily, you would think that that kind of thing would be a disaster for their brand. But remember, the key to branding is to talk specifically to your audience. Red Bull's audience, it's not you and it's not me.
They're not afraid of dying. They don't care about dying. If you drink Red Bull, dying is not like a scary thing for you. You dig it. You're into it.
No, they're not going to be the ones dying. But they're guys who are doing these crazy things, whether it's motorcycles or skateboards. They're into extreme sports. They're the kind of guys whose mother would say to them, if all your friends jumped off a roof, would you do it also? And if they were honest, they'd have to say, yeah, I'd probably go first.
So these are their customers. Okay. So you're telling me that, I mean, I was listening to all the reports about this today, and they were saying there was a really good chance that his eyeballs were going to explode in his head, that, you know, his face, the mask was freezing, and so, you know, they were pretty sure that he was going to go into that death spiral. All this good PR is what you're saying. These sort of things happening, streaming live, watching this happen to someone is good PR for Red Bull.
Think about every kid on a skateboard out there. If what did you say? His eyes were going to explode in his head?
Yeah, blow up.
Saying,
that's what they said. They were going to, from the pressure.
Dude.
Yeah?
Dude, did you see that Red Bull guy? His eyes blew up. I mean, they would just go watch the video more times. That 8 million would have been nothing. It was a win-win. It was a brilliant, masterful stroke by Red Bull. I mean, this might turn out to be the best stunt of all time, at least for the time being.
So let me follow this logically. So these people who would like to watch somebody's eyeballs explode and, you know, were not fazed by this guy potentially dying, they are smart enough to go out and have a job and collect money so they can go buy a product?
Of course they are. Red Bull sells 4.2 billion euros of product a year. But that doesn't mean that the people drinking it don't harbor some sort of aspiration of being this guy. I mean, they're not base jumping and they're not wearing those flying squirrel suits necessarily. Okay. But they'd like to think they could be. They'd like to think, hey, that could be me. I'm drinking the product. I'm wearing the brand. I'm wearing the hat. I'm wearing the sweatshirt. That could be me.
Wow. Okay, so you've convinced me. How much do you think they paid for this, and how much do you think it was worth?
Well, I don't know what they've paid, but if you look at what they've paid over time, they spend about 30% of their dollars on marketing. And as I said, they grossed 4.2 billion euros. They work in about 100 sports. They represent, or they sponsor 97 athletes. So they're spending a lot of money. They don't spend a lot of money on typical traditional advertising, on measured advertising. They do it on this sort of thing. Look at what they spent just in the couple days when Felix didn't go up. I think they said that it was $60,000 in helium. Yeah. They had to take the balloons out of the cases. Once you take them out, you can't use them again. Those balloons cost a couple $100,000. They've been supporting this for the last 5 years. Yeah. So they've spent a fortune. At the same time, they're going to be in the record books for years to come.
Forever. Bruce, I've learned 2 really important things from this. Was genius. Number 2, if I see either of my sons with a container of Red Bull, I am taking it away from them and I'm taking them directly to the therapist because this is terrifying. Bruce, thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate your time. Good stuff.
It was a treat. Thank you.